कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं मर्दनो परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे Namaskaram to everyone present here. My name is Dr. Yogeshri Bharat, and today I will be making a very humble attempt to present a very small snippet of Krishna Leela, in particularly the Krishna Jananam or the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known to exist and is known to be the ultimate source from whom everything emanates and by whom everything is maintained in this world. And the pramanas for this are the Vedas, the scriptures, the Upanishads, the Puranas, the epics such as Bhagavata Puranam or the Mahabharata or the Ramayana, and so many compositions by the different composers and saints. If one may ask, why does the Lord incarnate? The Lord, as we know, incarnates in many different forms on this earth, particularly to alleviate or eradicate the sufferings of all living beings. Once we are born, with the associated birth, we have karma, and because of karma, we have endless cycle of depression, poverty, difficulties that we bring with in our lives. So to help us break free from the shackles of materialistic sufferings and to ensure that we as normal human beings or normal living beings, including an elephant like Gajendra, can attain ultimate spiritual bliss and ultimate salvation, breaking free from the cycle of life and death, the Lord incarnates. In fact, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Dharma samstapanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Every yuga, every cycle of time, right now we are in Kali Yuga. There has been a Satya Yuga, Krita Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and now we are in Kali Yuga. Every cycle, He incarnates to help us to establish Dharma, to establish moral efficacy, to establish peace and harmony amongst everyone. The Indian subcontinent is very fortunate. You know why? Not because the Lord is born or not because the Lord incarnates. It's because of saints, it's because of composers, sages who are born in the country to sing in the praise of that Lord or all the incarnations that we have. It is beautiful to see the number of sages, the number of composers, saints who are born. Right from, you can start from the north, we have so many Tulsidas, we have Mirabai, we have Kabir Das, we have Sur Das, then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have Jayadeva from Orissa, then once we come towards the south, we have Alvars, the Nayamas, the Ashtadasas, so many from across the country, it's just infinite. So today, I will be presenting the Krishna Leela with the reference as Bhagavatam, that is penned by Sri Vedavyasa. Most of Krishna Leela is documented in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And of course, so many compositions by so many saints and so many more texts like Alvar's Pasurams, or it could be any bhajans, many of them are in praise of Lord Shri Krishna. So once, many years ago, Bhumi Devi, or Mother Earth, as we often refer to her as, is completely burdened. She is burdened by the presence of demons or asuras because of incorrect or corrupt rule that they were following. As there was no dharma, as there was complete chaos, she could not bear the burden. She goes to Lord Brahma, Bhumi Tripta Nripavyaja Daityani Kashatayati Akranta Purivarena Brahmanam Sharanam Yayo. So she goes, surrenders herself to Lord Brahma. She says, "Oh Lord Brahma, please help me. I am praying to you." She assumes the form of a cow and she goes to Lord Brahma, prays to Lord Brahma to help her get out of this suffering because of so many unlawful behaviors by everyone on earth. Lord Vishnu then appears in the meditative state of Brahma. In fact, this episode is very beautifully captured by Narayana Tirtha. He says, Sharanam Bhava Karunamayi Guru Dina Dayalo Karunarasa Varunalaya Kaliraja Kripalo Sharanam Bhava. She says, Sharanam, I surrender to you, O Lord. That Lord, Kaliraja Kripalo, that Lord who came down to save an elephant Gajendra just because he said, Narayana, please come and save me, she says. So Lord Vishnu appears in the meditative state of Brahma and says that he will incarnate and alleviate Bhumi Devi's suffering. And that is why we always pray and refer to the earth as Mother Earth. She's our mother, as she's provided her space for us to live. So after this incident, many days pass by, and once in the northern part of India, in the current state of Uttar Pradesh, Rajadani Tadasa Bhut Rajadani Tadasa Bhut Sarvaya Bhuja Rajadani Mathura, Ujjain and Agra were three constituencies that was ruled by the evil king Kamsa. So Kamsa was an asura or a daitya who had an asura need not necessarily mean one with horns who's ugly. And Asura is someone who has all negative qualities in excess. So he was a tyrant, he was unlawful, he was adharmic, he would destroy anywhere where dharma would take place. He was corrupt, so corrupt that in the lust of power, he chained his own father, Ugrasena, in the jails. And he took over as a political leader, as a king of Mathura. So once his cousin sister Devaki was getting married to a king named Vasudeva. So Kamsa ensured that he took part in the wedding. He personally attended to all the arrangements of the wedding. He took personal care to ensure that the wedding completed with utmost grandeur and pomp. And as the wedding completed, Kamsa, and in those days there were chariots. Chariots were the mode of transportation. And there was a charioteer, like how we have chauffeur to drive our cars these days. It was charioteer. So Kamsa had so much love for his cousin sister Devaki, so much apparent love, and you will see why, for his cousin Devaki, that he was a charioteer himself. So he takes his sister and newly married husband, the newly married couple, he starts riding the chariot through the streets of Mathura. The entire street was decorated on the occasion of Devaki and Vasudeva's marriage. At that time, a voice reverberated across the sky. The voice says, Asyaswam ashtamo garbho hantarahase uda he muthare. Oh foolish one. As soon as the voice said, oh foolish one, there was only one person who turned and looked towards the sky, and that was Kamsa. So we all know ultimately who is the only foolish one in the crowd. It was Kamsa. So Kamsa looked up to hear what the prophecy was about. The prophecy or the voice said, "O Kamsa, O foolish one, the lady that you carry is going to be the mother. The 8th child of that lady is going to be your death." Immediately, any person for that matter, when they get to know, we don't know how we are going to react when we know when our time of death is. In the case of Bhagavatam, where Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, when he got to know that he was going to die in 7 days, he had sattva gunas. So what he did, he sat and listened to the Bhagavatam, and that is why we have the Bhagavatam today. But Kamsa was not like that. He had more of Rajo and Tamo gunas and all Asura gunas. So what did he do? He decided to kill Devaki then and there. He takes out his sword, holds Devaki by the hair, and is about to slash her throat. At that time, Vasudeva, her husband, newly married husband, who she has just married and she has not spoken to at all, he holds Kamsa's hand and begs Kamsa. He says, "Oh King Kamsa, aren't you the pride of this family? Aren't you the king of the Bhoja dynasty? All heroes sing your praise about your quality, about your bravery. How will it be if you yourself kill your own sister, that too on the day of a wedding? You kill a woman, that too your sister, on the day of her wedding. It will set a wrong example to all your Sabha members, to all your cabinet ministers. So, I would request you to not do so." Kamsa listens to Vasudeva because he knew Vasudeva was a truth teller. He was a man of his word. So Kamsa listens to what Vasudeva had to say. Vasudeva says, "Don't worry, you have nothing to fear from Devaki. You're worried that her child will be your death. I will ensure that I will deliver that child to you as soon as it is born." Just imagine the heart of a parent to promise such words, to give their child to someone to kill. So you should know how great such words were uttered, and how great you will see Vasudeva keeps his word. Kamsa immediately agrees. Okay, Vasudeva is someone who I know I can trust. And then he takes Devaki and Vasudeva to the palace. Usually there is a ceremony of Graha Pravesha, right, where the newly married couple enter their home where they will be staying and starting their family. She did not have a Graha Pravesha. She had a Kara Graha Pravesha, which meant she was put in the jail. Kara Graham in Sanskritam is jail. So she had no normal Graha Pravesha where there was wonderful ceremonies. She and her husband were sent to jail and tied up in jail. No new clothes, nothing. She was in garbs. Both of them were in simple clothing and they were just sitting in the jail. In due course of time, Devaki gives birth to her first child, who was a boy. And mind you, to abide by the promise. See, as human beings, we can always go back on our words. But Vasudeva was not that kind of a person. Because he said he will deliver his baby, he took the baby with Devaki crying. Even he was feeling with a heavy heart. He goes to Kamsa to give the baby. Oh Kamsa, our first child is born. The child's name was Kirtiman. Kirtiman is born. So here you go. For once, somewhere, by mistake, one Sattva-guna, I think, had occurred to Kamsa. He says, okay, Vasudeva, it's fine. He thinks, it's only the first child. Poor Devaki, poor Vasudeva. And Vasudeva has been so gracious, so truthful, that he came and gave me the baby. It's only the 8th child, right? It's fine. I will manage. You can take the baby. You can keep this baby. So, Vasudeva returned to Devaki, slightly happy that they got to keep their first born child. But that did not last very long. Kamsa immediately, fickle-minded Kamsa immediately started panicking. He said, no, if I allow this to happen, what if Vasudeva goes back on his word? And then he goes to the jail immediately, and you can imagine a newborn child, right? The limbs are hardly formed, there are hardly any bones. So he takes the child by the leg, he takes the baby by the leg, he snatches it from Devaki. Devaki is crying, no bhaiya, no Anna, please don't do this. It is a small child, mother's heart, no? So he snatches the baby from Devaki's hands. There is a rock that stands beside the jail, and he smashes the baby's head against the rock. There is blood spilled all over in front of the mother's eyes, in front of Devaki's and Vasudeva's eyes. Kamsa performs such an atrocity. There is no Papa Vimochanam to this for what Kamsa did. But Devaki and Vasudeva did not know what to do other than just cry. They were helpless. They had nothing at all. They were only crying. In fact, they did not want any more children. But Devaki gave birth to the second child, third child. All this happened 5 times, 6 times in front of Devaki's eyes. It kept happening. What would Devaki do? All of us do. When we are upset, we go and pray. So what Devaki did too. She had nothing. When we have no hope, when we have nothing, we ultimately surrender ourselves to the Lord. So Devaki says, oh Lord, don't you have any karuna on me? Don't you have any pity on me? Amongst everyone whom you protect, amongst everyone who is present on this earth, can't you protect me also? Can you not include me in that list? I'm just one other person, just me adding to list. Is it a burden? Am I protecting me? Is it a burden? Now unakku barama, she says, Brova barama, Brova barama, Raghurama, Brova barama, Raghurama, Brova barama, Raghurama, Brova barama, Raghurama. She says, am I a burden to you, O Lord, O Supreme Being, O Lord Narayana? Is it so hard? Aren't you? Aren't you the universe's protector? Aren't you Shiva Sudeva? She says, aren't you the one who encapsulates the entire universe in yourself, in your being? Then why is it so hard to protect me? Am I such a burden? She has no words. She cries, she sings, she prays. This keeps going on. Finally, Adisesha, manifests himself in Rohini's womb, in Devaki's womb, and the potency of the Lord Yogamaya transfers this pregnancy to Rohini Devi, who is in Gokulam, which is a village across, even today you can go see Gokulam, which is a village across the river Yamuna, a little away from Mathura. Now Kamsa was confused. He lost count. Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage, but he did not know how this is possible. So he wanted to, whether it is the 7th baby with miscarriage, 7th baby without miscarriage, he was absolutely confused. He was going on thinking about the same thing. And finally, Yogamaya herself manifested as a fetus in Yashoda. Yashoda, who was Nanda Baba's wife, who also were the village panchayat leaders of Gokulam. So Yogamaya manifests as a baby in Yashoda's womb. And finally, the time dawned where the Supreme Being manifests himself in Devaki. So we all have this pregnancy glow. All women would have seen that. With a normal human child, we have pregnancy glow. So imagine when Devaki was carrying the Lord, how her glow would have been. She was radiant, she was jubilant, she was just by sitting in that jail, that entire jail lit up. She was so bright. Kamsa knew this had to be the death that they were speaking about. This had to be Narayana. He would think about Narayana, 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 Narayana day and night. That indirectly he became the true devotee because he was thinking about Narayana more than the others, even though he was fearful of Narayana. So this was going on, and finally, Avani Masam, Rohini Nakshatram, in the month of Avani, or the month of August as per the Hindu calendar, and Rohini Nakshatram, the constellation of Rohini, the entire atmosphere felt charged, it felt jubilant. There was sweet smelling atmosphere, the entire air smelled very sweet, very pleasant. All the trees seemed to be more greener, all the flowers seemed to be blooming with utmost sincerity, all the animals, all the entire world, the entire Jagat was as though celebrating something. It is known that the nature and all the animals have some sort of sense. So you would know, for example, if there was a tornado or if there was a natural disaster, the animals get to know first and they flee. So same way, something good happening, the entire nature was congregating. They were having a small party by themselves. They knew something was going to happen, party work, and that was a real party because Lord was going to incarnate. All the celestial bodies began to sing. All the Gandharvas, the Yaksharas, the Kinnaras began to sing. The Devas began praying. All the Rishis on the earth were doing Vedic rituals. They were doing all the sacrifices, yajnas, and so many more Vedic rituals were being performed everywhere in the anticipation of the Lord's birth. All the Gandharva Stris, all of them, Apsaras, everybody were dancing, everybody was happy, waiting for the Lord because everybody was annoyed with Kamsa's behavior. They wanted the Lord to incarnate. And as the day arrived, Devaki gave birth, and when she gave birth, there was just huge light. If you read the text, it says that our human eye cannot perceive the Lord. We cannot see the Lord because we cannot bear the light with which He comes. So you need special vision, and that is the vision of spirituality, to see the Lord. So there is a huge blinding light, and Devaki and Vasudeva are not able to see. And finally, as the light dims and as they rub their eyes, they are able to see. Lakshman Kalashobhikausubam Eekambaram Sandrapayodasauvaram Mahaveduya Leetakundaratvisha Parishvatta Sahasrakuntaram. As the Lord is born, as all of us as humans, I think, when a baby is born, what would we do first? We would see who the baby is looking like, how are the features of the baby, how is the eye, whether it is this way, that way, whether the nose is proper, lips are proper, who does it resemble, atte, mama, mami, bua, behen, whoever it may be, we start seeing how does the baby resemble. So imagine, when the Lord was born, how would Devaki and Vasudeva, they began singing, they see, Tam Adbhutam Balakam, Adbhutam Balakam. He's an Adbhuta. He was a wondrous child. Why? Because he's the supreme being who incarnated. Ambujakshanam. He had lotus eyes. Chaturbhujam. When the Lord was born, initially he was born with 4 hands. Shankagada Yudayudam. So, if you see the Rupam of Rupa Saundarya of Lord Narayana, he has 4 hands and 4 main weapons. Other than that, he has Khadga, Pani and all of that. But the 4 main weapons are Mace, Gadha, Lotus, Padmam, Shankham, the conch, and Chakram. So the Lord, when he incarnated as a baby, he incarnated as Kunja Krishna, cute Krishna, with 4 small hands, with 4 small miniature size of all those weapons, Why he brought the weapons with him? There is a beautiful interpretation. Devaki Mata, so when babies are born, we usually show some toys, like kanakana, kini, some sounds with some bells, so that the child doesn't cry and is distracted and smiles. So Pavam, Krishna feels, Pavam, Devaki Mata in the jail, what will she do? What will Vasudeva and Devaki do? They won't even have toys to give me. I will bring my own toys. So he goes with 4 toys. Shankam, Gadam, Padmam, all of this will make noise, Kanakana, Kini, to help him play with himself. So that was why he brought Shankha, Gada, Yudayudam. What else? Shri Vatsalakshmam, Gadashobhikausubam. He had a beautiful pearl necklace dangling across his neck. Pitambaram Sandrapayodasauvaram. So he had a beautiful pitambaram, yellow cloth adorned across his waist. What else? Like I said, the Lord incarnated or took the form of a 4-hand baby, just like Lord Vishnu. So he had beautiful necklace, he had beautiful earrings. He had in those days when children were born, they would put anklets, they would put aranyakudi, that is a waistband, they would put bangles, they would put earrings. So Krishna came all decked up. He was ready. Sahasrakundaratvisha, and he had jet black curly hair, and he was a bluish black body that resembled the clouds that were laden with rain, and his eyes were round and he was looking here, there, muchu and the Vandapati, like he was going on staring what is happening. So beautiful was that Adbhutam Balakam, that wondrous child. So one point that I would like to make here was, Lord Krishna or Lord Narayana, when he incarnated as Lord Krishna, he incarnated as a god itself, unlike in Ramayana, where he incarnated as a man. So all these transcendental activities may go way beyond our comprehension, and that is why they are all divine leelas or pastimes or transcendental pastimes. So as Devaki and Vasudeva began to pray, Devaki and Vasudeva began to notice even more beautiful traits about the Lord. She sees Ambujalochana Kambushuva Ambujalochana Kambushuva Bimbadara Chandra Bimbadara His cheeks are bright red, as though resembling that of an apple. His red lips are small and it was quivering as he was a baby. So she observes the Rupa Saundaryam, and Devaki feels Madhava, Madhava. Oh Madhava, oh Lord Krishna, are you the one who's born to alleviate my sufferings? Madhava, Madhava. Have you come as my Madhava? After all those prayers, have you come to bless me after all? She says. So Vasudeva and Devaki knew that it was the Lord indeed. The Lord then appears in his actual form and instructs or gives Devaki and Vasudeva all the instructions that they need to follow through. He says, take me and leave me in Gokulam with Yashoda and Nanda Baba, and bring the female child that's born there back here. And as soon as he says that, his Rupam vanishes and he comes and incarnates as a normal human being this time with 2 hands and 2 feet. So then Devaki and Vasudeva were thrilled, but at the same time they had a very heavy heart. They did not know what to do. Devaki is going on affectionately patting the child. She wants to be with the child as much as possible. And then Nanda Baba Vasudeva says, now it's time. He picks up, as soon as he picks up the Lord, the shackles break free because they were tied, the jail, shackles break free, and miraculously the guards were asleep, they were sound asleep, they were just snoring. There was some rain that was happening, and Yamuna was flowing loudly up to the brim, so nobody could hear anything. Dorain, the door opens by itself. Vasudeva is able to get out of the jail, and then he reaches the Yamuna river. He has to cross the Yamuna river. He doesn't think twice. He just begins walking through the Yamuna river. Yamuna is full, but she paves way. Just like how in the Ramayana, the Samudram, the sea, paved way to help Rama build his Setu bridge. Same way, here Yamuna paves way. Adisesha, because it's raining, right, and Krishna is on top of a basket. Vasudeva is holding Krishna on a basket. They did not have anything to cover the baby. So Adisesha comes, this mighty serpent on whom the Lord Narayana reclines. He comes and acts like a beautiful umbrella to the Lord. And as Vasudeva passes through Yamuna and reaches Gokulam, he leaves Lord Krishna there with a heavy heart, picks up the baby girl that's born there. He explains everything to Nanda Maharaj. Yashoda is asleep, she doesn't know what is happening. Once he explains everything to Nanda Baba, he leaves. He leaves, and as soon as he crosses through the same path, he comes back to the jail, and as soon as he comes back to the jail and he gives the baby girl to Devaki, shackles, they all lock them up because she is Maya, you see. By Maya we are bound to this particular, we are bound, because of the illusion we are bound materialistically to this earth, she is Maya. So again shackles come up, the guards wake up, and then the baby is loudly crying, she's going on crying. Kamsa immediately knew, this is my death now, this is my chance to come. And he comes running from there, all the guards go and wake him up, okay, the baby is born, and he comes running. And at that time he tries to snatch the baby from Devaki. Devaki says, Bhaiya, she is a baby girl, the prophecy said the son, but she is a baby girl, please leave her, don't do this to her. She feels she's going on crying, but Kamsa had to do the same thing, so he grabs her by the leg and is about to smash against that rock. That baby girl kicked him one huge kick, she kicked him. She goes into the sky and with all 8 hands she appears as Jaya Jaya Durge Jita Vairi Varge Jaya Jaya Durge Jita Vairi Varge Yatani Nari Vichitra Sarge Jaya Jaya Durge Jita Vairi Varge. She comes as Durga and she says, oh you foolish, second time he's been called foolish, poor Kamsa. Oh you foolish man, the baby whom you're after is already somewhere else and he will surely come kill you. As of now, you did the foolish thing by doing this to me. Stop all your atrocities, stop all your adharma practices, for you shall meet your death very soon. Saying so, she vanishes. Kamsa doesn't know what to do. He is absolutely shattered, scared, and does not know what to do. That immediately calls on a cabinet of ministers, all Indasura, Andasura, Putana, Bhakasura, Abhasura, all asuras in one cabinet. Just imagine how the government will be. So, he calls on a meeting and this is going on. That is for another day we can speak about. But in this side, as the sun rises, it is the first Janmashtami in Gokulam. Yashoda does not know what has transpired through the night. She wakes up to see a beautiful baby boy crying. She is absolutely ecstatic. And I think when we have all birthdays, we have parties there, the entire village was coming together for a party, and it was called Nandotsavam because it was Nanda Baba's boy's birthday, first birthday. So we need to, or the day he was born, so we need to celebrate. So it was huge, and their livelihood was, they were all cowherds. So they would make milk cows, they would breed cows, gather milk the cows, milk products, and they would sell it. So they got on a lot of milk products. That's why Krishna loves butter, milk and all of that. So a lot of milk products, dahi, venne, butter, or navanitam, egg, clarified butter, ghee, everything. They bring everything, and like holy they were playing, smashing the butter balls and everything. The entire city was decorated with toranams, with rangolis, with the lights. It was such a beautiful, surcharged atmosphere. And here, Yashoda, there is this cradle ceremony that they do where the child, when the newborn child is put into the cradle and is rocked so that everyone from the village or the town would come and bless the baby. So Yashoda, what bhagyam, what punyam that Yashoda did, that she did not even know that it was a supreme being. She puts the baby on the cradle and she begins rocking. Purandar Dasa, one of the Ashtadasas, he observes this. And he says, Yashoda didn't even know that it was a supreme being, but all she did with her utmost love was Aadi Sitale Yashode Jagadodharana Padisitale Yashoda rocks the baby beautifully. Krishna is opening his eyes a little bit. He wants to sleep. So many people are coming and blessing the child. She's slowly rocking. Beautifully, Purudadasa, I feel, has put beautiful sangatis. Because you're rocking the baby, right? You can't be like, you can't put such sangatis. So he puts a beautiful lullaby type, and that's why he chose the ragam probably Kavi. So Yashoda is beautifully rocking the child. As she doesn't know, he says, Jagadodharana Maganing Tiyuka. Yashoda has so much love without knowing that he was the supreme being. He was the Paramapurusha. Yashoda did not even realize that he was the atom, he was the Vishwarupam, he was the universe. She did not realize any of this, but all she had was utmost Vatsalya Bhava. She had utmost motherly love for the Supreme Being. So fortunate was Yashoda that she got to be the mother who raised baby Krishna. So many days passed by and the Krishna Leela proceeds, as all of us already know. And with the Krishna Janam, I would like to conclude today's Harikatha, and I would like to thank all of you present here, Dr. Ashwin ji and all the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present the Krishna Janam. Thank you so much.